It is officially planting day, and that does not look good. My weather on my phone says nothing, which we all know how that goes. So hopefully that is something that will not hit here. We're supposed to get, you know, relatively 3/4, 50% of the day tomorrow. It's supposed to rain. So this is gonna be an opportune time to get these plants in the ground. And we actually have 2 of the marigolds that are starting to bloom. So that's cool. Majority of the vegetables is what I want to get planted. I'm not worried about these getting planted in the garden. These I might transplant and maybe put out at the produce stand. I'm not really sure. But all the tomatoes and other stuff that we can get out, peppers, stuff like that, we should be done with the really, really cold weather. I'm hoping. Some areas had frost last night. In fact, the whole orchard frost pretty much just decimated all their orchard trees and apples, peaches, you name it. Nothing for this year. So that sucks, but it's the name of the game, I guess. You take a chance. Anyway, I got the side-by-side full right now. We have 3 trays over there yet, and we'll take these over and then we'll come back and get those. Now I do have seeds that I want to plant as well. We'll kind of verify and walk through what those are going to be. And the biggest thing is going to be to get all these plants planted, and it's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot of plants here. Each one of these cells, it's a 32 cell seed tray, and a lot of these cells are full. Some of them are not, majority of them are. So there's a lot of plants here, more than we've ever had. This is our biggest year yet when it comes to the garden. If you watched the last video, we set the plastic, and I still did not get our pins to do the rest. I think I have 2 more rows of 6-foot plastic to lay down, and then that's all the plastic I have of this stuff. And then I have other stuff which we had from last year left over. But honestly, with what we have just here already laid down, I think we're gonna be fine. So we'll start going down through here, and I do want to check all the seeds that I have. The amount of seeds is just crazy with what I have. I have some stuff left over from prior years in an old shoebox. There's some in here, and in fact we actually have a whole fresh pack of peppers that was from this year. But anyway, majority of our seeds are in here. We got onions, you name it, I got it. And the onions are going to be going in today as well. Sweet corn, not quite ready for that. Cucumbers, we got all kinds of stuff. Some of this stuff is not going to be going in yet. Soil temperature is probably a little bit too cold. 3 different kinds of onions, and they are already starting to grow. And then obviously we had all the tomatoes, peppers, stuff that we've already started. I have more lettuce seeds that I'd like to start. That way we have kind of a different crop for lettuce. So yeah, we'll get started, and I got to try and figure out what I want to start in the first row. I know what I typically do, which would be not the cucumbers, but I don't even know what they're called at this point. Kind of forget, and I don't even know if I have any. Doesn't look like I do. So some of the seeds, I still don't have green bean seeds, pea seeds, stuff of that nature, because I get that elsewhere from where I got these. So yeah, I don't have those yet. They're more of what I typically plant in this row. It just kind of came to me, is a zucchini, summer squash. Typically that's what I plant in the first half row anyway, and then, you know, go from there. So I know for a fact I'm gonna do them and plant them, but I don't think I'm gonna do as much as I typically do, just because, number one, I sell a little bit of that stuff, but not a ton, and we don't use really any of them. They end up going to animal feed, if anything, if they don't sell. The easiest way I'm gonna go about doing this is just burn a hole in with a torch, and then use this shovel to just kind of scooch the dirt around, place them in, and I think we'll pretty much be done. I kind of screwed up because on these trays, I don't remember, I have tape with numbers to indicate what variety tomato this is. And when I went to water the one day, actually the first day I moved them out to harden them off, I took out from underneath them all the secondary trays like an idiot, and that just and I put them in a big pile and didn't even think about it until I went to move them back in the house. And yeah, so now I have no idea what variety is which. I know some of them because of what I transplanted. I know what I transplanted. Yeah, dumb mistake, rookie mistake. Went through all that time to draw a map on the paper when they were growing in the basement and then label them, and now I did that. So whatever. I guess here goes nothing. One of those drill bits would do wonders here. Drop her in there. Really wish it was a little deeper than that, but kind of is what it is. Take some of this soil, throw it in there. We'll try and get the rest of these a little deeper. This should make a difference. Right down in the hole. Well, of course, as per usual this time of the year, I have pretty much almost the whole first tray done. I still have a handful of plants. I mean, this is easily going to take us this whole first line. And the wind picked up like crazy, and it's starting to rain, which they were not calling for. Check the weather, it says rain for the next hour. It's raining very light, but it's windy. I'm gonna try and push through, see how far I can get, but there's no chance. And then they want rain tomorrow. This just isn't gonna happen, unfortunately. I probably planted these a little closer to the edge than I should have, but I'm really just trying to maximize my space. My goodness. So hopefully that's not an issue. When they grow big, they'll probably grow out here, I don't know. But we'll see what happens with it. But right now, it's windy and it's starting to rain, so I'm just gonna keep trying to go as long as I can. Well, I'm done. I got one whole tray completely planted. This is gonna be a lot of tomatoes. Barring they all survive. But you can tell it's getting too wet. It's starting to rain just too much. Unfortunately, back there, it's broken up and it's not gonna be raining anymore after that. But it's already done too much. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stop. And I doubt I'm gonna be able to resume tomorrow because they want rain pretty much almost all day. So one tray is better than none, I guess. So once I guess I can get in here again, then we'll resume. But until then, hopefully we start seeing some growth from these tomatoes that we did get planted. And also until then, I gotta try and keep these all alive, plus what's over there. I may have went a little overboard. Did I say this is my biggest year yet? Unfortunately, the weather has took a turn. Now that we have all these tomato plants in, I shouldn't say all of them, but the whole one tray that we started the other day, there's like 30 plants here. The weather, or the low for, I think tonight actually, is supposed to hit 36 degrees. So I'm very nervous that it could potentially frost in areas. I don't know what's gonna happen. So my only solution, I'm not even gonna take a chance. We are just going to put buckets over the top of them. Easiest thing I know what to do. Should be ready if it decides it's gonna frost. I'd rather be safe and it not frost than not do this and then it frosts and we just did all this for nothing. See what happens. It's already starting to cool down too, I can tell. So hopefully it doesn't frost, but if it does, we're ready. Then after tomorrow, they do not want any more low temperatures in the 30s. So at that point, hopefully I'm gonna push to try and get everything planted in the garden and then be done. And then after that, we can move on to getting some corn seed in the ground. It's perfect weather. It's warm. We survived the frost. Let's try and get a lot more plants in the ground. We have so much stuff to get in this garden. Marigolds have actually started to bloom, so that's cool. They're not going in the garden, but yeah, there's a lot. Our lettuce is doing really good. We got some peas, some green beans, and we have a bunch of other seeds, a lot of onions to plant. So let's get going. Two full rows of tomatoes. That's a lot of plants. Now I did completely empty one more tray, which didn't have, you can see they weren't all full. Now some of these have since sprouted, as you can see. I'm not really too concerned with those, but now, so I have this tray. We still have a ton of plants. So we're gonna get up into probably that next row for sure, maybe even the next one, which if it carries up into the next one, that's fine, because then all the seed stuff, onions, and we got a ton of onions to plant as well. But having this plastic in here really makes it nice and straight. Another thing that I thought about that I could have done, instead of going through all the hassle of putting all these holes in the plastic, is till it up, make it nice, cover it with the plastic, and just let it sit for, I don't know, a month. Pull the plastic out, and then we should be able to plant. Now, any seeds that birds drop or anything that blows in, dandelions, you know, stuff like that will sprout after the fact. But essentially what you're doing is you're doing like an incubation period where all the seedlings or the seeds that are in the ground are staying moist, so they'll sprout, come up, use the energy of the seed. They will not get light because of the plastic. Everything will die. And in theory, you should be able to pull the plastic and not have any weeds. I could have done that too, but I don't want to say I'm too far ahead, but I could still do that. But this just kind of keeps it weed free all season. Making some progress. I got the first 3 rows pretty much done. Now we're on to the 4th. I just buzzed all these holes in. So now I can work my way this way, and I believe these 2 trays, which were transplants, are pretty much going to fill 1 row, and then I only have 1 tray left, which this one's pretty much full, and they're looking wilty because they need water, but I'm not going to water them because there's moisture in the ground and I want the roots to go and try and find moisture. So they're looking a little droopy. They're a little unhappy at the moment, but this one's probably going to do a row too. So I pretty much have like 2 rows yet of tomatoes at least, and then we have peppers and lettuce, so that should give us, you know, plenty of room for other stuff in the next set of plastic, because I was really hoping to plant the rest of that in sweet corn up there, number 1. Number 2, I need to get potatoes in, and I don't know where I'm putting them yet. This may be more than like a year's worth of food. This is probably like 3 years. I went way too overkill on how many seeds that I started. I guess I had intentions of selling some plants, and now they're all ending up in my garden. I wonder if gardening is almost like chicken math. Like, you know, you start out with like 10, but you know, you get 2 more and then you have 30, you know, something like that. This plant auger really makes life easy. Definitely saves a lot of time, because otherwise you'd be struggling to try and really dig those holes with a shovel and then a butane torch to just burn your holes. It's pretty easy. So now I can just go along, drop the plants in, and then fill them all in. I'm really trying to push for the second reason that they want rain tomorrow afternoon, evening. So I can maybe get some plants planted tomorrow as well. But the biggest thing is getting these in before the rain, whether or not that's going to happen fully. Because I got quite a few trays left now. I'm going to use quite a bit going through this row here. Going out through, there's, I think each row holds roughly between 30 and 32 plants, depending how you space them, give or take. So we have 6, 6, 9. So that'll get us at least started into here, and then we'll be onto that big tray. Just like that, and you got 3 plants in. Talk about a lot of tomatoes. I need to get a count and see how many plants we actually have. We got 5 rows, and there's at least 30 to 32 plants per row. Oh boy. There you have it. 153 tomato plants. And we did 124 of those tonight in 4 hours. Well, we're down to just the peppers and the lettuce. And then we can move on to all sowable seeds. Direct sow, direct plant, whatever you want to call it. Look at the lines. That is so satisfying. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video of part 1 of planting 1 year's supply of food. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I need to go rest my back. I'll see you next time.